Well, listen, I'm going to jump into this. For those who don't know who you are,
Yeah.
introduce yourself.
I go by the name of Reflex. It's spelled Riflex. What that really just means it's a reflection of Christ. I got that name about, it's been a long time. I am a network engineer. I work in the IT, cybersecurity field. I'm a writer of the new book, No Such Thing as Halfway. By the way, I got two free copies for some two lucky people in this here live today. So, two free
Ooh.
copies. I'm gonna keep reminding people. Just all you gotta do is just share this live right now with two people in your network. Let Tula know. She will pick the two people, and I will send a book after the live. But I'm the writer of this here new novel, No Such Thing as Halfway, and I'm also a musician and the host of Stuck in the Middle podcast. That's what I
Yes.
do. Yeah, I stay busy.
Yeah, you are a busy man, and see, I know you from music and your
hmm
podcast. And
hmm
so I said, "Oh, he's writing a book. This is super dope." So first, let's backtrack a little bit. What
Yeah.
kind of music do you produce and you put out?
So I do Afro beats with an S. I do Afro beats. It's a African genre of music heavily influenced by percussions.
Hmm.
And Afro trap. Afro trap is really just trap music with pidgin English, French, African language, and the same drum patterns, but a lot more percussion. So I do Afro beats, Afro trap, but I started off doing just traditional hip hop, but I'm versatile. I can dabble in whatever genre, but mainly rap. I rap a
Yeah,
lot.
yeah,
Yeah,
and he's good, guys.
I
So I went on
appreciate
your
that.
page because I was going to, do my research. I see all
It's
of your
cleared
music
up.
is gone. I
Everything.
was
It's
like,
like a
wait a minute,
It's like a rebrand. So
a
say
total
with the book,
rebrand.
a total rebrand. Like I haven't put out music in months. People constantly hit me up like, "Yo, when is new music?" And last year, I don't know if you were keeping track, but I did something called Flex Friday, where I put out a new song every Friday last year
Wow.
for about 7 months. So every Friday, I put out a new song from
Hmm.
January 4th, 2019 to about July something. So I felt like, that was enough music for the people.
Yeah,
And
to
I
hold
also,
them over.
what I'm saying, and I also had this project in mind that I was working on. So it's just a complete rebrand. I didn't want people to be distracted by the music, but have time to see me as an author, see me as a writer, and take what I want to present, and I'm presenting to, saying the masses serious as far as a novel. So it's a
Yeah.
total rebrand. I took everything. It was hard, yo. Like I had
I
pictures,
hope
what I'm
you
saying.
archive that and didn't
Yeah, it's
delete it.
archived. I had some fresh
Okay.
stuff on there, I had stuff, the Bay on there. I was like, yo, I'm about to delete all this for real.
But
So,
I really feel like, see, I kind of, I see both sides of it, like a
hmm
total rebrand to make people focus on one specific thing. But
right.
I also feel like people buy into you. Like, you are your brand. Your story
hmm
makes you uniquely you.
Right.
Not everyone can say they're an artist, they're a podcaster, in IT, and an author. Like,
Right.
that's your story. That's your
Right. Right.
testimony.
Right.
So, I get it. But for those who do want to catch up on some of your music, where can they find it?
Certainly. Apple Music, Tidal, Spotify. If you're black, go listen to my music on Tidal. You know what I'm saying? Let's pump the traffic to Tidal. I'm just kidding. But anywhere, SoundCloud, YouTube. Like I said, I did a whole bunch of videos last year, so I'm very visual. You're actually in one of my
I
videos.
know.
I don't know.
I was in
I don't
one
know
of
if
your
that's
videos.
I don't know if that's a thing we can put out there. But Tula was in one of my videos. The song is called Temptation. Go check that out. It's on
It was
YouTube.
so fun, y'all.
It was
It
like
was
what, two
such a
days?
fun video to shoot.
That was like 2 days shoot, right?
I was there only for one day. I think
One
y'all
day,
did it
yeah.
2 days, but I was there for one.
That was a very great shoot, expensive. Um, but I'm glad it came out as great as it was, and everybody had fun, everybody enjoyed the finished product, and I'm just happy that we were able to do that. It was a dope connection. But yeah, I'm on Apple Music, Tidal, Spotify, YouTube, SoundCloud, all everywhere. You can find the
Okay,
music
okay.
everywhere.
Now tell us about this book.
Yeah.
Tell us about this book. What is the book about?
Shout out to Robbie Roy, by the way. You can get a free copy, by the way, bro. If you just share this live right now with two people and hit up Tula after, she's gonna pick two people are gonna get two free copies. But
Screenshot it so I can know that you guys shared it.
yeah, for sure, for sure. A tag her, all that good stuff.
Something.
It's a romance novel.
Okay.
Not too many times you hear, you know what I'm saying, people from where I'm from. I'm Cameroonian, um, first generation here. I've been here since 2007. That's about what came here when I was 14.
Okay.
So not too many times you hear people from where I'm from writing novels, you know what I'm saying? So it's definitely new, but there are some great writers from Cameroon. Mbella Boy, she's a lady. She lives right now in New York. She wrote an incredible book called Behold the Dreamers. But writing has always been a part of me, and what better way to start your debut novel and than to do or write about something that you are most familiar with, a story that you are most close with. So it's a novel about a young man named Giannis from East Africa and a young lady named Demi from West
Mhm.
Africa, Nigeria. Giannis from Kenya, and they live in the diaspora. She lives in Houston and he lives in Baltimore, and they meet much like how a lot of millennials meet right now through the internet, and
Mhm.
they just develop a strong friendship, and and come to really dig each other and fall in love, and they pursue their relationship over long distance for a long time, and really found themselves compatible with each other and try to move that relationship to the next level. But they hit roadblocks, which is tribalism, and it's a huge thing in our communities, not only the African community, but as I hope we would talk about in the African American and African community, the notion that
Mm.
two people cannot date or marry because they're from two different places. You know what I mean? And so
Interesting.
that's what the novel is about, them just fighting for their love through that authority, their families that are trying to rip them apart, that trying to tear them apart. So he does a lot of things that I don't think people will be happy about when they read the book.
Uh-oh.
But when he goes back for her in the long run, he I don't know, he may or may not be too late. So I'm gonna keep that hanging right there for people to
Y'all
find
gotta
out.
read the book to find out.
Yeah. It's a dope book. It's a dope story. I think a lot of people relate, find themselves in it, and it's something you gotta grab and read. Yeah.
Do you think you would want to turn this book into a short film? Maybe I see Vincent's on here.
Yo, I see a lot of potential in this. It's crazy because like I said, it's a story that is so prevalent in what I'm saying, in the Black community. And it could be told in a lot of different ways. And I hope that it can be told in a lot of different ways, different mediums, not only a book, but visuals, music. And that's actually one of the reasons why I wrote, because the audience that I'm trying to go after, I didn't think I would hit that audience with a song, with a single,
Mm.
or with an album, you know what I mean? Or if I wrote a blog post, I thought it would fall flat. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? People would just read it, may or may not repost it, or may not leave a paragraph of a comment, but in a book form, I can hit our parents, I can hit the older generation, and I could have something that would be tangible, that would live through generations. And I mean, that would be in your bookshelf, and something that would hit different demographics and audience and cross borders. You know what I mean? So I can definitely see it, crossing different mediums. And it's really just a conversation starter, you know what I mean? That's why I
Yeah.
appreciate us doing this. And I hope it opens a forum where people can talk about, the relationship between African Americans and African, and also Africans just within the African community.
Yeah. So what's one of the biggest takeaways or lessons you hope that people get after reading this? Like
Yo,
if you had to pick one, what would it
mhm.
be?
I hope that people, not I think, I hope that people get that polarization, while and tribalism, while it, what I'm saying, it's a good thing. So when we think about like tribalism, one of the big things that come to mind is political tribalism. You know what I'm saying? Like in the United States, for example, we got Democratic Party, that's the Democratic tribe, and the Republican
Yeah.
Party, that's the Republican tribe. There is some good to that. You know what I mean? Like tribalism, there is good to that. And what really tribalism is really is what, what I'm saying, defines us as a people, be it the language we speak or the clothes we wear or the food we eat, you know what I'm saying, how we function as a unit, that makes us a group, you know what I mean? And so that, what I'm saying, separates us into at us versus them, you know what I'm saying, like kind of physiology, psychological way of thinking. And so if if it's a us versus them, sometimes it's gonna be I'm right, they're wrong. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? Like my food tastes better, your food is trash. Y'all women, you know what I'm saying, don't know how to manage a home. Our men or our women know how to. Y'all men, you know what I'm saying, don't know how to.
Mm-hmm.
And our men, so it's that, you know what I'm saying. but there is also a good part of tribalism, and it's I want people to take away, you know what I'm saying, come away reading the book, having a healthy balance of, while tribalism and our polarization that separates us is a good thing, there is also a lot of bad about it, and we need to find ways and common ground by which we can come together and
And
enjoy
balance it.
exactly, and enjoy
Yeah.
relationships like Damien's and Yana's, relationships
Yeah.
that could thrive. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's what I hope people come away with it.
That's exciting. That's really exciting. You know,
Yeah,
I think that it's bigger than just a love story too.
yeah,
The theme of this, you know, like, yeah, it's important to take pride in where you come from and to take
right.
pride in traditions, but it's also important to keep an open mind with certain
Hmm.
things, you know, so you
Hmm.
can not be so stuck in your box that you're
Yeah,
blocking your blessings essentially.
right, exactly.
Awesome. Well, what piece of advice would you like to give those who are watching right now, who are currently, as we all are, stuck in the house during this pandemic? For those creators, for people
Yo,
who are thinking about writing a book,
I
what would you tell them to do? What's step one in that process of getting your book written?
shout out to Roa Lai, by the way. She's not the homie, but I follow her. I would say that's one of the reasons why, you know what I'm saying, like I'm actually releasing the book May 5th, by the way. I forgot to say that. The book is launching May 5th. It's right now on Amazon for pre-order. So if you go on Amazon, type no such thing as halfway, you can pre-order it. And I got this here 2 copies signed for anybody in the chat watching right now. If you want it, let Tula know. I send it to you for free. But one of the
The
reasons why
first two to DM me will get. I'll send it to him. So
she's gonna pick them, I'll send
the
them.
first two, I'm just putting it out there.
Yeah, thank you by the way. But that's one of the reasons why I'm launching. It just happened. Like I've always May 5th is my birthday, and when I started writing 2 years ago, I started writing October 2018. I always knew I was gonna drop May 5th. So it just so coronavirus is trash. It's such a sad thing. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
R.I.P. Fred the Godson, by the way, incredible rapper from New York. But it just so happens that a book is coming out in the midst of this pandemic, and I'm just blessed and honored and privileged to give people something to do while they quarantine. And shout out to UPS, USPS, all the some mail people for still working and being able to deliver things like this. And writing a book is hard, too. It is one of the most difficult things I have done in my 27 years of living.
Really?
It is hard. Like, especially as an indie author,
Mm-hmm.
you know what I'm saying? Like, I would say first and foremost, or famous, however the word is, first and foremost,
First and foremost.
first and foremost, get your manuscript ready. Like,
Okay.
don't put nothing online. Say I'm dropping a book. You can probably say I'm interested in writing a book or I'm writing a book. Don't put nothing about release date. Don't put nothing about nothing online. Don't even tell yourself you're gonna drop as such. Just get the manuscript written.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I'm talking have at least the third draft ready before you start thinking about, you know what I mean, like putting this out to the world. But always have that in the back of your mind as you're writing that there is a deep fulfillment in having something out there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like just like this IG live that we're doing, like you've done many of these. When you're done with it and you edit and you put it out, it's like a that felt great.
Mm-hmm.
And so have that always in the back of your mind, but know that it's hard. But the most important thing to do is have the manuscript ready.
So
Um,
step one, manuscript.
yes.
Step two.
Step two, have the funds. Have the funds.
Okay.
This book as an indie author, it's roughly about 146 pages,
Mm-hmm.
novel, which it's 31,000 words, which just crossed that threshold of being an official novel.
Mm-hmm.
Um, have the funds ready. This book cost me, and I'm all about giving game out. You know what I mean? Like I learned this the hard way for myself.
Mm-hmm.
Like I watched over 7 or 8 hours of YouTube videos, and I've read over if you were to count 24-hour, you know what I'm saying, days, I've read over a month worth of blogs to be able to
Yeah.
have this, right? So I would say just have the funds ready. This book cost me $5,000
Mm-hmm.
to have it here, and like different investment and different spending. So get your manuscript ready, go on
So
read, see,
manuscript, have the
man,
funds,
have the
and then what's
funds,
next?
and then get you a dope editor. You can find some editors, editor, interior design, graphic design, and if you want to do a hybrid between indie publishing and traditional publishing, that's what they call it. Traditional publishing is where you publish with a publishing house.
Mm-hmm.
I'm this is not coming from a biased place. I publish indie because I strongly think, one, not only are you gonna get, majority of the royalties, like the book being on, I'm giving away too much game, but that's why we're here. The book being on Amazon right now, I get 70%, which as an
Mm-hmm.
indie author, that's dope, right?
Yeah.
But it's like, you know what I mean? Like when you publish with a traditional route, they give you an advance. They might say, okay, here's $35,000, an advance to write a book. But when
Mm-hmm.
that book comes out, you getting 10% of royalties.
Mm.
They own all that because they're gonna invest in that publishing, they're gonna invest in that editor, they're
Yeah.
gonna they're gonna they're gonna invest in the interior design, they're gonna invest in the distribution. But if you, from research, Ingram Spark is a dope indie publishing platform.
Mm-hmm.
KDP for ebooks, of course, Apple, and also they got Lulu, that's Blurb. So I literally took Blurb, KDP, Ingram, Lulu, and one other that I'm drawing blank right now. And when I had my manuscript, I sent it to all of them,
Mm-hmm.
and I had them send me proofs. And you know what I mean? Like I have some in the bag that's like glossy cover, whatever. And I just looked at them, and the one that it captured my vision, that's the one I went with, and it's Ingram Spark. So have your manuscript ready, get your funds, do your research, and yeah, you'll be all right.
And put it out there.
And put it out there. It's gonna cost you though, but
Yeah.
it's an
It
investment.
sounds like you should put together a course to teach
Mm,
people how to self-publish. That's what
mm,
I'm picking up. If you guys agree with me, drop a thumbs up. But it sounds
yeah,
like you need to put
yeah.
together a course to help people self-publish
I
because hey, some people have some amazing stories,
facts,
autobiographies. Some people are just
facts.
beautiful writers,
Hmm.
poetry. So I'm just saying, just putting it out there.
It got some thumbs up. Shout out to Khadijah, by the
Yes.
way. Shout out to Khadijah watching. And yeah, like I said, hey, if y'all want a free book, let Tula know. I got 2 copies, but it's a dope story, man. I hope y'all read this.
Yes.
It's my
And so,
baby.
where can people pre-order?
Amazon, it's live on Amazon right now for pre-order. So if you type in "no such thing as halfway," you can pre-order it there. If you go on my website, and I would type the website on here right now,
Perfect. Perfect.
I am Reflex. Hopefully, I don't get a typo. If not, somebody watching
And
right
I'll
now
put
will
it in
ping
the
me.
show notes also, you guys. I'll
Thank you so
re-upload this
much.
video and put it in the caption for you all.
Yeah. So
Well,
I
not
am reflex.com if you want to get a signed copy, or if you just want to, subscribe to my mailing list. I send out a lot of goodies, and I send out updates on like stuff like this that I'm doing, like interviews. And so subscribe to my mailing list on my website. You get updates on everything I'm doing. And yeah, just go on Amazon and pre-order the thing. If you read digitally, it's on KDP, that's Kindle,
mhm.
and also on iBooks, Apple Books.
Dope, Will Reflex. Thank you so much for joining us today. I'm super proud of everything you're doing. I will
Appreciate
definitely
it,
get this
yo.
video uploaded and share this to the world so they can buy your book. I'm looking forward to reading it.
Thank you
I
so
love
much.
stories. I do,
Thank you
and
so much.
I hope. Hey, fingers crossed that you can take this from a book. You never know; it may end up on Netflix.
Hey, Netflix,
I'll
YouTube
at your boy.
TV,
You never know.
Hulu, Prime, everybody, you know what I'm saying? Like, hit me up. I got show ideas, you know what I'm saying? No such thing as halfway. Appreciate you, by the way, Tula, so
No
much for
problem.
doing this. Thank you to
No
Daphne, by the way,
problem.
my publicist doing this. And hey, y'all, No Such Thing as Halfway is the book title. It's live on Amazon right now. Go pick up a copy. Thank you so much.